The YouTube live stream event will include the following agendas, which is the one I just spoke about, the Governor's Message 607. And for the people participating remotely, all testify audio will be muted and video disabled until shortly before it's your turn to testify. The testify is, we're enforcing it for the interest of being equitable. I'll be reading a list of people who submitted written testimony for each measure. We apologize if the closed captioning doesn't accurately transcribe your names. If you're interested in reviewing the written testimony, please go to the legislature's website. You'll find a link on the status page for the measure. If there's any temporary technical glitch testify, we may have to move on to the next person due to the time constraints. So we appreciate your understanding. Remind you that the committee has your written testimony. So, first, I'd like to recognize who the committee members are for the Committee of Public Safety and Military Affairs. We have Senator English, Senator Favela, Senator Baker. And that being noted, I guess you'll be unmuted as necessary. So the first testifier for Governor's Message 607 will be Mr. Gene DeMello for Public Safety. Gene, you can go ahead.
Yes, Chair, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for being the nominee, by the way.
Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair English, and members of the committee, I am honored to appear before you and be considered for board member of the Hawai'i Paroling Authority. I would like to thank Governor Ige for his trust and confidence in making this nomination. I have spent over 30 years in community corrections. My entire career has been dedicated to transitioning incarcerated individuals as they return to life in our community. I worked at a local halfway house and served as a parole officer with the Hawai'i Paroling Authority. The majority of my career was with the U.S. Probation Office as a probation officer, supervisor, and assistant deputy chief. I retired from U.S. probation on June 30th, 2020, after 28 years of service. I have not found a better way to come out of retirement than to continue my community corrections work with the Hawai'i Paroling Authority. I believe in the mission of the Hawai'i Paroling Authority. I have the knowledge base and skill set to make critical decisions to grant parole and set minimum imprisonment terms. I am prepared to engage in the challenge to preserve public safety and facilitate opportunities for parolees to improve their lives as they return to our community. To that end, I have a working knowledge of the principles and strategies of evidence-based practices that research proves are effective to reduce recidivism. In my experience, the best supervision outcomes are achieved when an offender's risk and needs and their criminogenic factors, such as alcohol and drugs, education and employment, or antisocial peers, are addressed and no longer a barrier to the successful reintegration. I bring to the Hawai'i Paroling Authority a retrospective and prospective knowledge base of effective and ineffective supervision strategies. Early in my career, I worked in a traditional supervision model of enforcement and compliance without evidence-based practices. As I have learned, supervision outcomes from a traditional model are less favorable than outcomes produced when using evidence-based practices. For nearly the last third of my 28-year career, I assisted in operationalizing an evidence-based practices model. The transition was an epic undertaking that brought significant change to the philosophy and culture of the U.S. Probation Office. One of my goals as a board member is to foster the use of evidence-based practices to enhance the continuity of release preparation and re-entry services. I pledge to use my knowledge base and experience in my decision-making. I am committed to making significant contributions to protect the community and facilitate opportunities for sustained change. I look forward to working collaboratively with the Paroling Authority Chair and board members and Department of Public Safety to meet the needs and challenges of the department. I will serve with integrity, loyalty, and dedication to the mission. I have no personal conflicts of interest that would hinder serving as a board member. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. DeMello. We have also testimonies and support from Max Otani in strong support. And next we have Edmund Fred Hune, the chair of the Hawaii Paroling Authority. And Fred, if you're available, we'll take your testimony at this time.
Hi, Chair. Fred's not on the call today.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, he wrote in strong support. We also have other individuals who have given their support, and I'll just read off their names. Mary Lee Lau, Stacy Kubota, Robert Minor, Peter Yoshihara, Tracy Uehara, Neil Sukayama, Candy Key, Chad Adams, Eli Asasaki, Garthia Tripopoulos, and Andre Wong, all in strong support as well. We have additional, I guess, any others who might be wanting to also offer their support. If not, at this time, the chair would like to entertain that we go into the recess at this point in time for deliberation.
Okay, Chair, we'll now go into the recess room. Three, two, one.
Okay. So this is on Governor's Message 607 for advice and consent for the position of being on the board of the Hawaii Paroling Authority. And this is for Mr. Gene DeMello Jr. for a term to expire 6/30/2024. Okay. So Chair goes aye. Senator English.
Able to.
Aye.
Okay. Senator Baker. Is Senator Baker there?
Director of the Ahamu Advisory Committee shall be subject to the advice.
You gotta turn your other one off. Put it on mute.
Okay. Anyway, I'll come back. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Senator Revere.
I don't see him on.
Okay. Senator Baker again.
Aye.
Okay. Senator Revere is excused. Motion is adopted. Thank you, members.
Congratulations, Gene. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Gene.
Thank you, everybody.
You're on the board.
All right.
And
Congratulations.
Thank you, Senator Favela.
okay, we will, next meeting will be, next hearing will be at 1, I think it's following this, I believe. Yeah.
1:20.
Oh, 120. Okay. Well, where's have another cup of coffee?
Two, one.
Okay, thank you. This is hearing on Tuesday, February 8th. Face the camera. Okay, here we go. Tuesday, February 9th, 2021, 1:20 p.m. And it's video conferencing on the Public Safety, Intergovernmental and Military Affairs Committee. And I'd like to, before I get started, recognize who the members are. Joining us, it'll be Senator Baker, Senator Favela, and Senator English as well. But to get it started, prior to getting started with the list of testifiers, I have to read off this. This meeting, including the audio and video of remote participants, is being streamed live on YouTube. You will find links to viewing options for all Senate meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's Time website. The Zoom meeting and YouTube live stream events will include the following agendas, which is today, the February 9th Tuesday meeting at 1:20. And in the unlikely event that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties, the committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding businesses. There will be February 11th at 1 p.m. And a public notice will be posted on the legislative website. For the people participating remotely, all testifier audio will be muted and video disabled until shortly before it's your turn to testify. The time limit is 1 minute given to each testifier because of the interest of time and keeping to the time that we have for this hearing. I'll be reading a list of people who submitted written testimony. Please measure.
Two, one.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, returning to the meeting, there's one more item I have to say, which you probably were aware. We're technical glitches from time to time. So if we do have that when you're called to testify, we'll move on to the next person because of time constraints. And just to let you know, if you have your written testimony, it'll still be available. So thank you. So now moving on to first item on the agenda, Senate Bill 664 relating to public safety requires the Department of Public Safety to develop the new Oahu Community Correctional Center. And the first testifier we have is
Chair, you need to move so that you're more in the screen. We're only seeing about half of you.
oh, really? I thought it was going to be under the
Better,
table.
much better.
Takes a while to get used to that.
I know.
Anyway, so Senate Bill 664, and we had the first testifier, Kurt Otaguro Wodags, Department of Accounting and General Services. Kurt?
Yes, good afternoon, Senator Nishihara, Vice Chair English. My name is Kurt Otaguro, State Comptroller for the Department of Accounting and General Services. Thank you for the opportunity to testify. DAG strongly supports SB 664 and the authorizing of a development of a new OCCC. As you know, Department of Accounting and General Services has been working very closely with both the legislature as well as public safety over the years to identify the needs of the community and to find a suitable location to relocate OCCC from its current site. There's been a lot of debate, a lot of discussion, a lot of site selections, and we believe that we found a suitable location in the Halava area that would both improve the quality of the programs that are offered at PSD, as well as provide a venue so that the public safety area would have more synergies with a better designed facility. And so we look forward to working with everyone on this exciting project. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you again. Thank you, Senator Nishihara.
Did we lose the chair? Okay, guys, as the vice chair, let's take a quick recess and we'll try and get the chair back on. The technical staff, oh, there he is. Okay, we don't need to take recess. Welcome back, Chair.
Thank you. Too many buttons to press. Okay. Okay, now we have, let me repeat it again, William Bagasol testifying for the Office of Public Defender. Anyway, he sent in his comments, so if he's not on screen. Then we have Max Otani for PSD.
Hey, good
Max, how
afternoon,
you doing?
Chair, Vice Chair, English, committee members, Max Otani with Department of Public Safety. We stand on our written testimony in strong support of this bill and be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dear members, just to let you know, we'll try and go through the agenda first and then we'll take questions at the end, if that's okay with all of you. Okay, we have next Kat Brady, Community Alliance on Prisons. She sent testimony opposed to it. Mandy Fernandez for ACLU. Is Mandy there?
Yes, good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Mandy Fernandez on behalf of the American Civil Liberties Union of Hawaii will stand on our written testimony in opposition.
Okay, thank you, Mandy. Elena Funakoshi, individual opposed. Raylyn Reno Yeomans, individual opposed. Edison Miyawaki, individual in support. Carla Allison, individual opposed. Courtney Rosinski, opposed. Diana Bethel, opposed. Carrie-Ann Shirota, opposed. Anyone else would like to testify? Otherwise, we will move on to the next bill, which is Senate Bill 744, repeals the authorization for the governor to negotiate with any person for the development of expansion of private correctional facilities, prohibits the establishment of private correctional facilities in the state. And we have Max Otani for PSD. Max, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members. We offered comments in this measure, and we believe that repealing and limiting the governor's authority would delay further building of correctional facilities. We provided some information as far as population that we have dealing with right now. And we'd be available for any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you. Jackie Esser, Public Defender, State of Hawaii.
Aloha, good afternoon, Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair English, all members of the committee. My name is Jackie Esser. I'm here on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender, State of Hawaii, to testify in support of Senate Bill 744 relating to correctional facilities. Private prisons are absolutely not the solution to building safe and healthy communities. They are part of the problem. To build safe and healthy communities, we need to rethink who we are incarcerating, how we're treating individuals when they are incarcerated, and how we help them get the healthcare, education, jobs, and housing they need to successfully rejoin society when they serve their time. Investing in corporations that profit off incarcerating more of our citizens that are concerned only with their bottom line, have no connection to Hawaii, will not achieve this. This bill is a step in the right direction to prohibit private prisons in Hawaii from profiting off incarcerating more of our citizens. We thank you for the opportunity to provide testimony on this matter, and I will stand by for any questions if the committee has any. Mahalo.
Thank you, Jackie. Justin Kohler, Prosecuting Attorney for County of Kauai. Sent in letter of support. Chris Caulfield, Waimoa Alliance, also in support. Kat Brady, Community Alliance of Prisons in support. Mandy Fernandez.
Good afternoon. Mandy Fernandez on behalf of the ACLU of Hawaii will stand on our written testimony offering support of this measure.
Thank you. Raylan Reno Yeomans in support. Carla Allison in support. Courtney Morzinski in support. Diana Bethel in support. And Carrie Ann Shirota in support. And so that brings us to the end of that particular bill. Moving on to Senate Bill 949. And we have Mary Alice Evans, Director for the Office of Planning. Is Mary Ellen there? Mary Alice.
Hi, Rodney Funakoshi from the Office of Planning. OP stands on our testimony offering comments on this measure.
Okay, I see you again, Rod.
Hi.
William Isla, Chairman, Hawaiian Homes Commission, in support. Kat Brady, testifying for Community Alliance on Prisons, opposed. David Ralph and Michael Epp, Okukua Kalihi Valley, in support. Reina Reno Yeomans, opposed. Carrie Ann Shirota, opposed. Diana Bethel, opposed. Courtney Morzinski, opposed. Anyone else? Otherwise, we're moving on to Senate Bill 1187. And 1187 is making an emergency appropriation to the Department of Public Safety, makes an emergency appropriation to provide funds for the DPS to cover the costs of personnel services shortfall in all correctional institutions statewide and healthcare services. And we have Mr. Max Otani.
Good afternoon again, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members. The department is in strong support of this bill. This bill would fund 186.5 unfunded positions for ACO and healthcare workers. This will, assist us in trying to address the issue of staff shortages. And this request does not even take into consideration shift release factor at this time. But we appreciate any support you can passing this bill. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll be on Senate Bill 1188. There were no other testifiers for that previous bill. Senate Bill 1188 is relating to the statewide automated victim information and notification system, amends Part 7 of Chapter 353 HRS to establish the 7 coordinated position to be responsible managing the operations of the save-in system. Okay. Mr. Max Otani, Director. I guess if you want to testify on this.
Just briefly, Chair, we're asking if the committee could hold this bill. This bill could be held. We have not had a chance to, I guess, interact with the governance committee of SAVIN. So we have some time on the funding. I think it expires in 2013. And we probably, 23, excuse me, 2023. And we should be back next year to address this matter.
Okay, so the recommendation is basically to hold off on this bill.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Pamela Ferguson Bray, crime victim compensation, send in comments. Andrew Morgan for Hawai'i Paroling Authority, send in support. Justin Kohler, prosecuting attorney for Kauai County, send in comments. Ellen Bartolome, prosecuting attorney for County of Hawaii, send in comments. Angelina Mercado, executive director for Hawaii State Coalition Against Domestic Violence, send in comments. Randy Barreto, testifying for Save-In Governors Committee. Randy?
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the Senate Committee. On behalf of the Saving Governance Committee, as the chairperson, I am going to support the Department of Public Safety in requesting the committee defers this measure to allow for discussions with the Savin stakeholders.
Okay, thank you. I guess that there aren't any other testifiers for that bill. So Senate Bill 1189, we have note what the bill says. Just a second. Okay, 1189, it's relating to the pretrial services provided by the Intake Services Center, Department of Public Safety. It amends section 353 6-2.2 actually, section 353-10 and section 804-7.1 HRS enacted as part of Act 179, Session Laws of 2019 to delete the additional duties and responsibilities of the Intake Services Center, Department of Public Safety, in providing augmented bail reports under the Act's bail reform initiatives due to the imposition of budget restrictions for the biennium 21-23 that defunded the ISC positions responsible for the work. And so we have testifying, or Shirley Kawamura, the Deputy Chief Judge for the Judiciary, is opposed to it. Max Otani?
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. We are in support of this bill, and it's mainly due to a financial situation. It doesn't take away the work that our staff will be doing on the pretrial operations, but I think without the proper funding and staffing, we would not be able to meet the requirements as specified in HRS. Thank you.
Okay. William Bagasol. By the way, before we move on, oh, sorry, can we hold just a second? Director Otani, how much money is to maintain those positions, which we just spoke about?
No, how many, what is the funding? It's like 300,000. Yeah, apologize. I think it was
8 positions, I believe. I believe we deleted 8 positions.
right. So I think we may have to get back to this on Chair, but I think it was close to about 300,000. I think that we originally spent.
Okay, once you get back to us, back to the committee. Okay, thank you. Okay, now, William. Sorry, I had to cut you off.
No problem. Good afternoon, Chair Nishihara, as well as Vice Chair English and senators. I'm William Bagasol, Deputy Public Defender, testifying on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender. Now, I will not repeat or read my testimony here, but I would like to summarize some points in that this proposal eliminates key elements and components of the recommendations from the pretrial task force. There was a lot of work done for the recommendations, and there was broad support and consensus in the law that this bill seeks to eliminate. So everyone, including not only just defendants, judges, prosecutors, and even victims, are impacted by this bill. For the defendants, it delays release determinations, and even for victims, there's an issue where it would eliminate evaluating a defendant's risk for violence or incorporating victims' rights. So it would be a mistake and a giant step backward to pass this bill. Any cost savings on the front end will be quickly eliminated by any additional burdens on the back end due to delays in the pretrial system, societal damage caused by the continued incarceration of individuals. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and I will make myself available at the end for any questions.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, William. Mark Patterson wrote in opposition to the bill. Justin Kolar, Hawai'i Office of the Prosecuting Attorney, also was opposed. So I guess that we'll move on to Senate Bill 1190. 1190 is a bill for an act relating to public safety, reenact section 353C-10 HRS to authorize the Department of Public Safety to maintain a list of independent civil process servers and amend several statutes to allow process servers to serve specific types of legal documents. Okay, Max Otani.
Good afternoon again, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members. We stand in strong support of this bill. We believe that the changes are necessary for process servers to actually do their job legally. There is a projected need for process servers, once the moratorium on evictions is lifted. So we ask that we give this bill favorable consideration. Thank you.
Okay, Jane Sugimura, testifying for collection law section of the Hawaii State Bar in support. If there's not anyone else like to testify in this bill, we're moving on to Senate Bill 1194, which is making emergency appropriations for the DPS relating to COVID-19 expenditures, provides emergency appropriations in fiscal year 2020, 2021 to DPS to continue funding for various COVID-19 response related programs and activities. Mr. Otani.
Thank you again, Chair. We're asking that we're testifying in support of this bill. We need this emergency appropriation for medical, food service, and safe travels, in addition to sanitizing and deep cleaning of our facilities and offices.
Anyway, Mr. Otani, as I recall, we had a conversation about the news reports that said the inmates not being able to receive their vaccinations, and also the testing as well. So those would be kinds of things that perhaps this bill would help.
This bill, we're not asking for testing because I think we'll be working with the Department of Health on testing. And as far as vaccination, we're following the guidance of Department of Health at this time as far as the priority of vaccination. But I just wanted to let you know that we did start vaccinating a few inmates at all of our Oahu correctional facilities at this time.
Okay, thank you. Alan Urasaki. Testified in support. Anyone else? Otherwise, we're moving on to Senate Bill 1243, which is relating to the phase out of private correctional facilities, requires the state to phase out the use of private correctional facilities to incarcerate Hawaiian inmates, prohibits the construction of new correctional facilities or the expansion of existing correctional facilities without the approval of the Hawaii Correctional System Oversight Commission. And to that end, we have Ms. Jackie Esser.
And thank you, Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair English, and all members of the Senate Committee. I am here on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender to stand in support of Senate Bill 1243 relating to the phase out of private prisons. I don't need to rehash our written testimony, but I do want to highlight the words of Justice Thurgood Marshall, who recognized in 1983 when Hawaii incarcerated Delbert Wakina Kona challenged his transfer to a mainland prison. And Justice Marshall recognized that in addition to being incarcerated, which is the ordinary consequence of a criminal conviction and sentence, Wakina Kona has in effect been banished from his home, a punishment historically considered to be among the severest. For an indeterminate period of time, possibly the rest of his life, nearly 2,500 miles of ocean will separate him from his family and friends. As a practical matter, Wakina Kona may be entirely cut off from his only contacts with the outside world, just as he had been imprisoned in an institution which prohibited visits by outsiders. Surely the isolation imposed on him by the transfer is far more drastic than which would normally accompany imprisonment. It's time we end the contracts with private prisons. We bring our people home. We appreciate the opportunity to testify in support, and I'll stand by for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have Mr. Max Otani.
Hi, thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members. We provided written comments and would stand on our comments, but I would just like to note that right now in Hawaii, we have approximately 1,700 inmates that we classify as prison types. And these are the ones that are housed in Hawaii. Our total assigned count of these same types of inmates is a little over 2,700. So, if this bill passes, then we're going to have to find space for at least 1,000 inmates out there at this point. So it may be premature at this time. Thank you.
Right. There'll be a lot of flying people out of here or to a neighbor island.
Well, it's finding space for 1,000 inmates. That's basically.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Justin Kolar, prosecuting attorney for Kauai, in support. Randy Pereira, HGA, in support. Chris Cofield, Limua Alliance, in support. Kat Brady, in support. Repi Shapiro, in support for League of Women Voters. Mandy Fernandez, ACLU, in support. Alan Urasaki, in support. Rayno Yeomans, in support. Carla Anderson or Allison, in support. Courtney Morosinski, in support. Karen Shirota, in support. Landon Murata, Deputy Attorney General. Attorney General. Opposed. Oh, I'm sorry. It was for the measure next. Okay. I guess that brings us to the end of that particular bill. So let's move on to bill is 1244, Senate Bill 1244, relating to the modernization of criminal justice. Eliminates the use of monetary bail with certain exceptions, requires defendants to be released on their own recognizance for traffic offenses, violations, nonviolent petty misdemeanor offenses, and nonviolent misdemeanor offenses, creates a refutable presumption regarding both release and detention for certain offenses, and specifies circumstances in which these presumptions apply, requires a judicial council to appoint a committee to review and recommend changes to Hawaii Penal Code. And on that, we have Landon Morata, the AG's office, opposed to that. Ronald Ibarra for the Hawaii Correctional Systems Oversight Commission in support. Charlotte Carter Yamauchi, LRB, sent in comments. Mark Tom, prosecuting attorney for Honolulu, opposed. Justin Kohler, Hawaii, prosecuting attorney, support. Jackie Esser, in support. Oh, you want to speak, Jackie?
That was my dog. No, we'll rest on our written testimony. If you have any questions, I'll stand by.
Okay, we're not taking a testimony from your dog. Thank you. Okay, Louis Estechek, Hawaii Disability Rights and Comments. Kat Brady, in support. Chris Caulfield. Oh, okay, back it up. So Kat Brady, are you here? She's not here. Okay. Chris Caulfield in support. Tina Yamaki, are you here, Tina?
I'm here. Aloha and good afternoon. I'm Tina Yamaki with the Retail Merchants of Hawaii. And while we understand the intent of this bill, we're strongly opposed to it. This bill essentially gives those who are arrested for nonviolent petty misdemeanors like shoplifting, harassment, disorderly conduct, to name a few, to be released without any bail money or any consequences. It's a big win for the offenders, especially the career criminals, and an even bigger loss for anyone in the community who has ever been a victim of crime, including shoplifting, break-ins in their home and car. Retailers, we have some concerns. Many thieves know exact value what they are stealing, and they will do it just underneath the felony level. There's no monetary bail, and no reporting or supervision. And to go off on their own recognizance, are we really gonna believe who they say they are and that they're actually going to come back for hearings? What we're seeing more and more is what is called organized crime criminals. These guys are not stealing just because they need to feed their families. It's their job. They get up in the morning, they get a shopping list of what they're going to steal. They go out and steal it from our stores. And it's 100% profit for them while we take the loss. Some of my members have been losing millions of dollars from thieves every year. And the question becomes then, how much longer do you think these stores are going to be able to survive? And especially now with the pandemic. It's a losing battle for retailers. We call the police. If the police come, it's to get the prosecutors to prosecute. Once the prosecutors prosecute, it's getting the judges to actually give them a fine. And we've actually had these people tell us, oh, we'll see you in your stores in a couple hours, because what the judge just says is bad person, don't do it again. And these guys know it. There's no consequences for their actions. So we're having a hard time with this. And although these crimes are nonviolent, at the end, it's everybody who has to pay for this. It's the customers, because we need to raise prices. So thank you again for hearing us, and I'll be available for any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tina. Mandy Fernandez, the ACLU, sent in comments. James Waldron Lindbad in support. Raylan Reno Yeomans. Yeah, is James there, by the way?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
Mr.
go
Chair.
ahead, James. I saw you earlier, so I guess you've been
Yes,
waiting
Mr.
all
Chair.
this time.
Senator, thank you very much for this opportunity. I scrutinized the bill. I don't think you can hurt anything here. I'm for anything that gets more people out of jail. I have caveats there. We want more ways to get people out of jail, not less. There's a sentence in there that was taken out in 2019. I wrote about all that in my testimony. I'm here to answer any questions relevant to that, where they want to take away bail by sufficient surety. The testimony here is very interesting today. I did have one correction to my testimony. I read from another bill, House Bill 1080. Hawaii really does have a high functioning pretrial process. There's fewer people now at OCCC than any time in my memory. The January 31st report says that there's something less than 450 people, felons at OCCC. And I put that there was 600 in my testimony. So I'd like to verbally correct my testimony, but I think this bill is not going to hurt anything, though it is rushed, Mr. Chair. It's rushed. We haven't really had enough time to figure out what Act 179 was going to do. We know that the judiciary is sending judges down to the police department almost every day. The recaps from the police department show that almost everybody's released regardless. Booking, of course, is a headache. Maybe they should have citation release or no bail. I don't really know. The police would know better. The retail merchants, they have a lot of problems. I've been a victim of crime twice, but we need to do something. And this bill is attempting to put the word out there that we need to do something, and I appreciate that. And I favor anything that gets more people out of jail, not less. And I'll answer any questions. And I love this format, Mr. Chair, too. This is a great format. It's very easy. I want to thank you for letting me testify today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lindbad. You know, we pretty much have, wait, there's two more, I guess. There's a caller, Allison, who's in support of the bill, Courtney Morosinski in support, Carrie Ann Shirota in support, and Diana Bechtel also in support. That brings us to the end of the testifiers. So at this time, like I said earlier, we would have the members be able to ask questions on any of the bills that we went through. So any of the members would like to ask a question to either of the testifiers or to get your questions answered. Members? Otherwise, we can go into the room where we can deliberate. We're going to recess right now, recessing.
Three, two, one.
Okay, here we go. Committee has deliberated, and so these are the recommendations. On Senate Bill 664, we're going to pass it as is. Members, I'll be taking the roll, the vote on this. So Chair is going with unamended on 664. Chair goes aye. Senator English?
Aye.
Okay.
Senator Baker?
Aye.
Senator Revere? Excuse? Senator Favela?
Aye.
Okay, motion is adopted. Okay. Moving on to 744, Senate Bill 744 is to pass it as is. Unamended. Chair goes aye. Vice Chair goes
Aye.
aye. Senator Baker?
Aye.
Senator Revere is excused. Senator Favela?
Aye.
Okay, motion is adopted. Okay, on Senate Bill 949, we're going to defer this. Senate Bill 1187, we're going to pass it with amendments. We're going to add intake service centers positions funding that was expressed in 1189, Senate Bill 1189, and we'll take SMA Tech amendments. So pass 1187 with amendments. Nishiar goes aye. Senator English?
Aye.
Senator Baker,
Aye.
Senator Revere's excused, Senator Favela.
Aye.
Okay, motion's adopted. Thank you. Moving on to Senate Bill 1188. We're going to defer this one. Okay. 1189. Again, I'm going to defer this because, as I noted, we're going to take portions of the bill into 1187. Senate Bill 1190. Going to pass it with amendments and estimate technical amendments. So Nishar goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Revere's excused. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Okay, motion's adopted. Thank you. Now we move on to 1194, Senate Bill 1194. Pass it as is. Members. Okay. Chair goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Revere's excused. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Okay, motion's adopted. Thank you. Senate Bill 1243, passing with amendments, page 11, change line 19, change date from July 1st of 2021 to July 1st, 2022, allow the department more time. So to pass it with amendments, chair goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Revere's excused. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Okay, motion's adopted. Thank you. And the final one for the agenda, which is Senate Bill 1244, is to pass with amendments using the AG's amendments, deleting sections 2 and changing language in section 3. And note in the committee report, LRB deadline dates and change the effective date to June 1st, 2025. And also we'll add also Mr. Lindbergh's comments as well as part of that. Okay, so passing 1244 with amendments, chair goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Revere's excused. Senator Favela. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. This brings us to the end of the agenda. Thank you. Thank you, members. And this concludes the hearing.